Hello, everyone. This is Independent Conservative. Thank you all for joining me once again. Happy New Year's to every one of you that have decided to join me this morning. God bless you all, and I appreciate each and every one of you. But unfortunately, we have to, cover the nonsense that is going on in our country. And I'm pretty sure some of you guys are aware of this. And if you're not, you're about to become aware of it now. I think early this morning, around 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning in New Orleans, a suspect rammed a vehicle into a crowd of people as they were celebrating the new year, rammed the vehicle into them, killing 10 people. And I think the individual got out of the car, out of the vehicle, and he began to shoot. And I believe 10 people were killed and 35 injured. And they did kill the suspect. He was shot and killed by law enforcement, thankfully. And now it's been suspected that this was a terrorist attack. So I'm going to read an excerpt from President Joe Biden and his comments on this and how he believes it was a terrorist attack, and then something Trump says. And then I'm going to give you guys an update that Breitbart News gave, which confirms essentially that this more than likely was a terrorist attack. So let's get right into this. This is unfortunate that we have to start the new year off with people's, lives being taken. It's just absolutely ridiculous. But this is the world we live in. We have to always be on constantly alert and constantly observative of our surroundings. But the article starts off, President Joe Biden confirmed in a statement Wednesday that the Federal Bureau of Investigation is investigating the fatal attack in New Orleans on New Year's Day as an act of terrorism. The FBI has taken the lead in the investigation, is investigating this incident as an act of terrorism. I'm grateful for the brave and swift response of local law enforcement in preventing even greater death and injury, he said. I've directed my team to ensure every resource is available as federal, state, and local law enforcement work to get to the bottom of what happened as quickly as possible and to ensure that there is no remaining threat of any kind. Biden said he has been briefed continually since early morning by federal law enforcement leadership and his Homeland Security team, including Secretary of Homeland Security Ali Maricus, Deputy Attorney General Lisa Monaco, White House Homeland Security Advisor Liz Sherwood Randall, and the mayor of New Orleans. Biden's statement said, I will continue to receive updates throughout the day, and I will have more to say as we have further information to share. In the meantime, my heart goes out to the victims and their families who were simply trying to celebrate the holiday. There is no justification for violence of any kind, and we will not tolerate any attack on any of our nation's communities. Yeah, okay. The attacker plowed his vehicle into the crowded Bourbon Street early Wednesday morning, killing at least 10 people and injuring at least 35. This is terrible. His statement came shortly after President-elect Donald Trump. Now, listen to this. His statement came shortly after President-elect Donald Trump issued a statement in which he called the attack an act of pure evil and suggested the attacker came from outside the country. Trump said in his statement posted on Truth Social, when I said that the criminals coming in are far worse than the criminals we have in our country, that statement was constantly refuted by Democrats and the fake news media, which is true. They denied that. They denied it. Ooh, I can't stand these people, man. Let me read on. But it turned out to be true. The crime rate in our country is at a level that nobody has ever seen before. Our hearts are with all of the innocent victims and their loved ones, including the brave officers of the New Orleans Police Department. The Trump administration will fully support the city of New Orleans as they investigate and recover from this act of pure evil. End of that article there. Yeah, so this is President Biden's. I read you guys President Biden's response to this incident, and I read you his response to the incident, and now I'm going to read the updated version of what this is all about. Okay, this is crazy. This is crazy. So let's get right into this. The suspect accused of plowing a vehicle through a crowd on Bourbon Street, New Orleans, killing 10 and injuring at least 30 on New Year's Day is named Shamsar Din Jabbar. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. According to a law enforcement source, NOLA.com reported. The outlet also reported the suspect, now listen to this, is 42 years old and that he was carrying an Islamic State in Iraq and Syria, an ISIS flag, in the vehicle. Police shot and killed him after the attack. This story is developing. End of article, both articles. Yeah, that's insane to say the least. That's insane to say the least. But you've heard what I've read there in both of those articles. And what are we to make of such tragic events on New Year's Day? My prayers goes out to the family members of those who were lost in such a tragic, tragic event. Unfortunately, these people did not know what was coming. They did not know that their lives was going to be snipped from them just like that on New Year's Day. They didn't even get a chance to experience any of this, of the new year. Lives gone just like that because some mad person decides to want to take their lives. But what are we to make of this? Trump stated that this more than likely took place outside of country. This person that did this was probably someone outside our country. And the implication that he's clearly trying to push is that this is due to the open borders. Now, can you argue that? Yes, that's true. That could be the case. That could be the case. It could be because of open borders. But then you would have to say, you would have to say that about 9/11. Was it 9/11 an open border situation? Maybe, maybe not. You can't, no matter how much you try to, even though we need to close the borders, no matter how much you try, you'll never be able to stop every person, criminal or terrorist or all the rest from coming over here. You'll never be able to do that. It's just, it aren't enough law enforcement to be able to do that. So you're going to always have somebody coming over here who shouldn't be over here illegally and causing all kinds of chaos. You're going to have that. But closing the border will at least diminish to some significant degree a lot of these acts of violence. It would decrease the amount rather. But yeah, this is a tragic situation. And the implication is that because this is happening because of the open borders. And clearly this was more than likely a terrorist attack. I gave you the updated version of that the law enforcement investigated to find out that this guy had an ISIS flag in his car, Islamic ISIS flag. And if anyone is familiar with ISIS, that was a big thing back in some time ago, back in the mid to early 2000s. That was a big thing. ISIS was supposed to be that was the most terrifying Islamic terrorist force, around, and they were very known for their brutality. But now it seems that they're still around and attacking innocent Americans. Are we going to have something else like this happening again? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. My prayer is that it doesn't happen again. But here's the deal. I believe that as Americans, as we enter into the new year, we enter into the new year being realistic. We have to enter into this new year knowing that there's going to be some blessings and great things happening that are going to be good. But we also have to enter into the new year being realistic. We also have to enter into the new year knowing that we just can't rest on our morals. We just can't take it easy. Well, Trump's in office. It's cool. Everything's okay. Trump is not the overall answer. His administration is not the overall answer. The overall answer is for the American people, those who are sensible, those who have a brain, those who have a sense of morality, okay? Not these far left lunatics, but those who have a sense of morality will stay diligent at all times, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically. They will stay vigilant, enjoy the benefits of a new administration that hopefully and prayerfully will be able to implement some of their policies that will benefit all Americans. Enjoy that, but also stay diligent. Stay observative of your surroundings. What's interesting about this situation, and I ask myself this, How did this person ram this vehicle into this crowd of people? Where did it come from? How many law enforcement officers were present at the time? Did they suspect this vehicle was not, it was sound kind of suspicious? I mean, did they suspect that something wasn't right? Where did this vehicle come from? He said rammed it, this crowd of people, killing at least 10. Okay. Did this vehicle kill 10 people itself? Or did this individual kill some people with the vehicle, get out of the vehicle, and kill a number of other individuals with his gun? Because according to one article that I read, he got out of his vehicle and began to shoot people. I don't know. But how many police officers, I have to ask, how many police officers were around during that time? And did they see this vehicle coming from a distance? Because it seems to indicate to me that this vehicle had to have been some ways away in order to ram itself into this crowd of people, killing 10 people, if the vehicle itself killed 10 people. Aside from the shooting that the suspect initiated when he got out of the vehicle. So all these are questions that come to my mind. If you can't trust the law enforcement, and I'm not saying that you can't trust the law enforcement in the sense that they corrupt, okay? But if you can't trust law enforcement because there just aren't enough of them, then who can you trust? Me personally, I do not look to law enforcement per se to protect me, okay? I respect law enforcement. And what I mean, I want people to understand, be clear. I want to be clear about this. What I mean by that, I respect law enforcement and I love law enforcement, but I don't depend on law enforcement to protect me. I depend on two individuals to protect me, God and me. Okay? God gives me 5 senses. And we talk about this often in our church. My pastor and his wife and a few other men, we talked about this. As a matter of fact, we had our New Year's Eve service at our church, but we started our New Year's Eve service at 7 o'clock that evening. New Year's Eve at 7 o'clock that evening. We let out about 9:30. Okay, we had praise and worship. All the ministers had 15-minute words, including myself. I had 15 minutes, 15-minute sermon. My pastor's wife had a 15-minute sermon. The other assistant elder had a 15-minute sermon. We had praise service, and we let out. Okay, but you in the past we would have our New Year's Eve services we would start at around 10, and then at 12 we would get on the knees and bring in the new year through prayer. But because of the danger factors, because of how dangerous it has become, okay, we decided to have our New Year's Eve service early and then let out early for the safety of the saints. Because myself and my pastor, we believe that God gives us 5 senses, and that even though his grace protects us, he gives us 5 senses, and we have to use common sense. We have to use common sense in protecting ourselves. Needless to say, we believe in bearing arms. That's essentially what I'm getting at. Okay. I think I've said that in previous videos. We believe in carrying arms. Okay. So we have to praise God and worship God and be happy and joyful and filled with joy, knowing that God is in control. But we also have to use the 5 senses that He gave us. We can't test God. Okay. That's my point. I want to say we shouldn't test God, or rather tempt Him. Well, I know God gonna protect me, so I ain't worried about nothing. All I need is the word of God, and I'm good. Okay. Can we say that about that group of people that was in the church, and that guy came in there and shot 9, 15, 20 people? I forget how many people shot and killed in the church. Are we to say that God was with them? Of course He was with them, but I mean, He came in and killed 10, 15 people, 9, 10, 15 people. One parishioner was inside there, happened to be, I think he was a retired police officer or off-duty police officer. He happened to be carrying. He neutralized the threat, needless to say. What if he wasn't there carrying? What if he wasn't carrying? More people would have died. Then what would people be saying? Well, why did God let it? No. God is a proactive God. I'm getting a little religious here. But God is a proactive God. Okay? They did this in the Old Testament. When they went out to do battle, they didn't do out. They would pray. The kings would pray and seek God first. But guess what they would pray and seek God for? They wouldn't pray and seek God and say, Lord, protect us. Send your angels from heaven and bless us. Oh, they would pray and ask God. The kings would pray and ask God, and the leader would pray and ask God for direction in the battle, to be victorious in battle, where they had swords and spears, and they went to work, and people died. Okay, their enemies died. Now you can interpret that any way you want to, but I think you get the gist of what I'm trying to say. They had to go to war. They had to go to war, and it was physical. It may have been spiritually influenced, but it manifests in the physical three-dimensional realm. And they had to use physical means to defeat the enemy. Same principle here. Same principle here in the church. Now, let me end this video on this point. And going back to to being alert of our surroundings. Unfortunately, we can. Well, I'll say fortunately, not unfortunately. Let's deal with the fortunate situation in 2025. Enjoy the new benefits. Enjoy the new administration. Like I said, enjoy the benefits that prayerfully will come through that. But stay alert. Don't take down. Don't take your morals down. Don't just relax and chill out, because you're gonna be more than likely going to have more incidences like this. If Trump is not able to close down the borders like he wants. Okay, if people are opposing him, because you got insiders and you got communists and you got New World Order proponents wanting to destroy our country from within so they can merge with their little nasty new one world government. Okay, and all this other bull crap. These people are evil. They're evil. Let me stop. Jesus. Okay, all right. That's what they want. That's one of the reasons why they keep coming against Trump. Let's quit playing games, man. But let's enjoy those benefits, but stay alert at all times, because you never know what might happen. So yeah, this is what ended up happening on New Year's Day, early in the morning on New Year's Day. It's unfortunate, and my prayers once again go out to the family members of the deceased. But yeah, that's my word on it. What do you guys think about this incident? What do you think? Do you believe it was a terrorist attack? Do you believe it was just something that some random cuckoo for Cocoa Puff person that decided to have an ISIS flag in his car and he really wasn't representing ISIS or any of that? What do you think? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Like, share, subscribe to my channel. God bless you all. See you again.